What's up, everybody? This is B is for Build. I'm Chris. We're here working in the shop. Today, we are working with the stock e-brake. We screwed up our hydro turned cable e-brake thing by yanking it too hard. Get it? So I'm going to modify the stock e-brake to have maximum driftage, and we're only going to be using parts that you can find at a hardware store, so you guys at home can hopefully follow along if you want a little DIY Pro Drifto e-brake action. Happy to announce that the B is for Build koozies are in, or stubby holders, or whatever you crazy Australians call them. You know, they hold cans, so soda, beer, whatever. We will be putting these through a thorough quality assurance test run today, aka drinking a lot of beer. It's gonna be a good time. After we do the e-brake, we're gonna move on to the rear and we're gonna build some trunk louvers and a DIY Rocket Bunny style wing that's gonna look a little bit more steampunkish than Rocket Bunny stylish, but it's gonna be on there and it's gonna go whoop like a ducktail and it's gonna look cool. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so there's two main objectives that I got for this thing. First is to be able to depress this button that makes it, you know, obviously go up and down without doing the ratchety thing. So I want to be able to depress that and have it held in so when I'm driving I can yank it and I won't have any problems. But I also want to be able to let it back out so I can park on a hill and have my ratcheting function. So there are drift buttons that you can buy on eBay and other places. I don't really see how they're going to work very well. I think they just use the pressure, like they stick in here because you jam them in there and they stick. I want to do something a little bit better than that. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the lever that we had on the other thing somehow to this unit. That way I can actually pull this down, have it set that way, and then I can yank my lever and have this thing retract. And you can see where we went wrong with our lever is this maxes out right here. You can hear me maxing it out. Our lever had no maximum really, so that's how I ripped it off of the thing. It's just too much torque. Anyways, so first thing I'm going to do is pop this off, and then I'm going to grab our fitting that I bought and start fitting it in here. Okay, I got this little plastic thing out of here, and then it kind of uncovered something I guess I wasn't expecting. This, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've dissected one of these things. This had the spring behind it, and it was just basically kind of a crimp onto the end of this bar. So it put the spring was here pressing this thing back, and then it kind of held the thing pushing the rod up. So there's a little blocker in here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but there's a little blocker in there that the rod moves independently of, and then this spring pushed this thing up. So what that means is to have our e-brake to stay in the standard kind of ratcheting mode, this one, and have it push down to get out of that mode, we need to keep this thing extended at all times. It doesn't need a lot of pressure. So I wasn't really ready for that, but we have a solution. So I have a drill and tap set. So what I'm going to do is slide one of these on here, and I'll thread this rod right here, put a washer, put the spring back on, I'll put a washer that's large enough, and then a screw on top of that, and that will get this thing so it's acting the same way. Then we can move on to our little button idea. Fingers crossed. Okay guys, so here's what I was doing. So I took a little aluminum ring washer spacer thing that I found from undoing the back seat buckles, and I shoved that down there to give me a little bit more space to make my spring more effective. Actually taking up some space. So that's like the new spring backing thing. So now I put my spring on there, threw a washer on here, I threaded the top of the rod, added some threads to that, and slid a bolt over it. So what we have now is back to the stock functionality. Right now, you can see this little plate in here is going in and out. And that is when I press this down, go up and down. So right now we have our stock functionality. If you were to pull the e-brake, it'll ratchet, press our button, it goes back down. So that's what we wanted to get back to, and that's all good. And now we can start the original thing that I was working on with grabbing this and placing it over and sliding it into here. So there's a lot of like tuning to figure out how to get this to be the right distance and everything away. The idea though is we want to have this so this will slide into here, into this unit right here. Right now our washer's a little bit too big, I'm gonna have to trim that down. But the idea is to have this slide into here and then be able to turn sideways and lock in and then turn sideways back out to come back out, but not come all the way out of the unit. So we're trying to get it to slide in and lock sideways, kind of like a gun does and some other things like that. So in and then sideways. So we got some work to do, some measurements and some cutting and stuff like that, but we're getting really close. All right guys, so this is the first version of the finished product. A couple things I'm gonna change. I'm gonna trim this bolt down a little bit and sink that in a little bit more. And then this cotter pin is gonna be replaced by a nice bolt going straight across here. I just didn't have a small enough one here in the shop. Here's how it works though. So right now this is fully depressed mode. So this is push the plunger in, the lever in. So this is on drift mode. And it's not gonna ratchet up on me. If I wanna get out of drift mode, I go over, up, and then back to the side, and then this is normal car mode. To get out of normal car mode or depress it, just like your normal one, you depress it and back into normal car mode. So it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to get in and out of like normal car mode and then do like this and then depress it. But what we get out of it is drifty mode. So next step, I'm going to mount my polar handle bar, the awesomeness that gets me that yank, slide, skid action, and I'm gonna mount that onto here and mount this back in the cabin. All right guys, we are back with our crazy e-brake contraption. This looks a little hacky, but this is actually really fun, and because we're on a budget, it's a fun challenge. So I've sunk that bolt in a little bit. I had to use the cotter pin actually because when I sank a bolt through there, we ran out of space. My measurements are real tight in here, so this is still functioning. And then this is aluminum, so we can't weld it directly onto the steel of the stock e-brake, so we just threw a U-bolt on here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna weld this U-bolt really hard onto here, and then we're gonna bolt our handbrake on real strong. We got it kind of at a nice forward lean and an offset. That way it'll match up with our shifter and where we want it really nicely. So next step is welding this baby on here, and then we're gonna mount it in the car. All right guys, well we got this thing mounted on here, so we did double bolts on this side, and then we got our U-joint and our weld. We welded it to the handbrake body. So unfortunately, sorry, that's not really a do-it-at-home process, but I mean, you could try and just bolt it on here super hard. It wouldn't work, but anyways, I actually joined in on the welding this time. Eric gave me a little lesson, so I threw a couple tacks in here, and then Eric welded the body of it, so that's the part that looks good. So this is really on here. Like, it's super, super on here. No clinking or clanking, it's on there. So I feel really good about that. And then we have our trickery over here, and so we got our drifty knob and our Yankee handle, and it's time to throw this thing in the car and be done with e-brake madness. All right guys, our e-brake is in, and of course I know you want to see it be tested, so it's time to give it a test run. The back wheels are on jack stands, so we're going to throw this thing in gear. So the way this works is the hand kind of goes around it during driving, slip your hand off the shifter and yank. The back of the car is on jack stands. I'm going to get the wheels spinning a little bit and try to lock them up. Okay, I'm going to get this thing in gear, get these tires spinning. Alright, and it works! It works! We have a hydro e-brake. And then, to be safe, we'll leave it in park and with our e-brake up. We have the first cable-driven kind of hydro e-brake thing ever to be installed in the BMW. I'm very proud of that. Moving on. All right guys, so we're moving on to what I've been calling trunk louvers, which are a made-up thing for people running trunkless. This is a purely aesthetic feature. When we did have our rear mount radiator, that would have helped, but now all we're going to be doing is just, you know, a little bit of air is going to get funneled down here. And then when we get back to here, we're going to build a kind of Rocket Bunny inspired little ducktail lip on the back here. And if you guys remember when we did the first round of window louvers, you know, they're kind of rough and they didn't work that well. I hang them on the back of the wall as a reminder. And then, you know, the second set we're like, all right, and the third set they came out good enough that people are always like, wow, you made those yourself? So keep that in mind when we do this. This is just a rough first shot. We only have 2 hours to build all of this stuff, so we're gonna do our best, and it's gonna be in the you know, inspired by the budget roll, and hopefully it'll look cool, but if it doesn't, keep your hate just bottled inside, and use it as inspiration. So the idea here is that we're gonna do straight up and then out like this. So the louvers are gonna come out like this, shoom, 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 probably 3 of them. And unlike the the ones that we did on the BRZ where they kind of came out at an angle like this, we're gonna go straight up like this. So we got 1, 2, probably 3 of those, and then we'll do our little lip spoiler thing that's gonna connect here and here, here and here, and run across here. that we are built. These are our shark fin tail stuff. Who knows? This is craziness that I think is going to look really cool. Eric pointed out when it rusts, it's going to look a lot cooler. So we built some supports in the middle so they won't bend in too much. And then there's our little slots on the side. And they're all really well on there. So when you come and look at the back, it looks crazy. And that's the look we're going for. And then we're going to top it off with some sort of a back spoiler over here that will hopefully be finished tonight. Alright guys, so for the final piece of the puzzle, we want to build some sort of a lip type spoiler, and here's my idea for that. I got this, I think this is 8-inch tall piece of sheet, and I'm going to put a little bit of a bend to it to try and match the arc between the taillights and the back here. So a little bit of a bend. I'm going to slot it right here in between the outermost part of the inside of the trunk. I'm going to slot that down, hopefully it'll bend out a little bit, then I'll take another piece of the 5-inch sheet, and I'm going to go from the top and up, and I'm going to meet it about halfway, so you're going to get a look, hopefully that'll look kind of like if these two pieces joined, but this top piece was bent. So it's going to be a little bit rough looking, but I think it'll look cool. That's my hope. It's supposed to stand out a little bit from these, but not too much. I'm going to get to work. Guys, our little DIY spoiler thing is on. It looks pretty cool. It's like kind of an extension of the little things that we did over here. It kind of flips up. It's 2-piece. As you probably saw in the time lapse, we got this piece. It kind of bends in and rivets down here and connects down here, where the rest of this piece is a big bent piece that is tacked on the corners. We use rivets and tack welds. And it's kind of gruesome, but I like the look. I mean, these are gonna rust, and I think when they rust, we're gonna get a real kind of Road Warrior, Mad Maxy look out of it. And that may be the future for this build, and who knows? I know a lot of you guys are not liking this. You want to see everything stay stock. That's not the point of this car. This is a car to have fun with and experiment and play around with. I mean, this car is, actually, I'll explain how this car was free at this point. I'll explain that more later, but yeah, so I'm happy with the way that these turned out. So we did rivets, I actually did measure, and so they are equally spaced out. And so the inner piece is riveted on to the outer piece, and it's really sturdy, so no worry about that. It's super on there. It might even actually generate us some downforce. I'm putting all my body weight on it right now. You can see the suspension of the car moving. Yep, I'm that strong. Anyways, that is it for that trunk area. We are going to mount a spot for Kim's face. Where's Kim? Kim's over there. She's looking away. We're going to mount a spot for Kim's head back here, and it's going to be rad. And I'm going to throw a giant B is for Build decal, which you guys can find at bsforbuild.com. I'm going to throw one of those right there, just so people know what's up. Alright guys, I'm here to report back. The BS for Build koozies have passed the quality assurance test. They have improved my drinkability by 500%. They are ready to go to market. They're on sale right now at our shop, which is at bsforbuild.com. Scroll down to the shop and you will see these, as well as our E46 Budget BMW Build t-shirt. Those t-shirts are available for pre-sale right now. Thank you guys all that have picked those up already at pre-sale. Pre-sales are kind of lame, but they are really helping me judge the amount of shirts to have made, although they're already being made, but it helps me kind of actually get them out faster in the long run. So anyways, shirts are being made right now. They will ship out May 14th, the day that we take this thing on the Oregon 500 rally. So thank you guys for supporting the channel, and buying anything on the store directly supports the channel. Koozies, t-shirts, key tags, anything, decals. Everything goes directly into supporting buying more builds. Speaking of buying builds, you guys probably thought I was gonna say I have another car. I was shopping today. I've been shopping. I'm shopping for 2JZ engines for the Plan A over there. But anyways, I did want to talk a little bit about the financial state of this build. It has now reached $0. It actually cost us no money for this car. hydro e-brake that I tore apart, even if I just say that whole unit cost $50. And it reminds some people, they ask why we went through all this e-brake madness. It was because the fittings on the hydro e-brake didn't fit any standard fittings that were here in the United States that I could get in an auto parts store. So we couldn't actually get brake lines. And if you try and hack together brake lines and you get a brake line leak, you'll have no brakes, and then you could die. So I just said, you know, it's not worth it, especially when this thing's got the dual drum brakes. Like these, this is gonna be plenty good. We're gonna be on gravel when we're doing this, so this isn't an issue. So we're good. I'm super happy with the way that turned out. Actually, you can see it's kind of in the lock state right now. It's pretty cool. So anyways. This build, we sold the back seats, we sold the front door panels, and we sold the rear door quarter panels. So that was like a huge influx of cash that came in, and there's still a lot of parts up for sale actually. We have the handbrake lever, the AC Schnitzer handbrake lever, and some other things that are up on the Panjo store right now if you guys want to search for them and find them. God, I'm talking too much. Anyways, car reached a budget of $0. So yeah, it's not as pretty as the E46 some of you guys want to see, but it's a car for no money. So you guys can do this too at home. And I would love for you to join me. When you guys watch the Oregon 500 episode, which we haven't filmed yet, we haven't done it yet, it's happening in the future. When you guys watch it, keep in mind and let me know if that's something you guys would like to do. I would like to actually organize one of my own here in the Pacific Northwest, invite a couple other YouTubers that have automotive channels, and all of you guys, the viewers, and see what we could do. Maybe we could make this a fun thing that we do more often and include a lot of people, because the one that happens right now is a very, very small field. And I would like to bring that open to all the viewers and all the people that want to join me in doing this every year. I think it's a really fun thing. And as you can see, it wasn't even a $500 build, $0 build. I didn't lose any money on this, so it's pretty cool. Anyways, thank you guys all very much for watching. I think I went over everything that I was meant to go over. Thank you guys for all the support. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for, well, interesting thing about this, BMW series has been the most disliked and the least liked series of all the episodes ever. So BMW fans, get your like on, except for the fact that I killed one, but it was killed first. The guy killed it by crashing it into somebody else, so not my fault. Get your like on. Anyways, thank you guys very much for all the support. Thanks for everything. You can find us at facebook.com/BSforBuild. We're BSforBuild on Instagram, and we have the website BSforBuild.com, and we have our shop on there. Scroll to the bottom. It's there. This is the part where I think I just say, please remember to like, but I already said that, and please remember to subscribe. We're getting close to, you know, some key numbers, so subscribe. All right, guys, that's it. Sorry I talked so much. Have a great day. Peace.